With only 3 races left until we crown a champion in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, we head to the Gateway Motorsports Park for the running of the Kobalt Tools 100. JJ Roberts, last time out, won at Jukasa. This week, he starts on pole. But the drivers behind him, 2nd to 5th, are all drivers looking to make a run at a title. Austin Johnson, he starts 2nd. He is 2nd in points, only 5 points behind the man in 4th, Colton Layne. But Jake Galloway in that 48 had one of the strongest cars at the beginning of the season. That team trying to work back up to that speed. He's really fallen off and is 11 points behind the 14 of Colton Layne. And Alex Benyacko is 5th in points. He's starting 5th today, 27 back. You also have Cody Goforth, one driver who's not really shown much speed, 17th in points, but has been on the climb here for Red Bull Motorsports. He's up to 6th. And Casey Mears in that 66. What a run. He starts 7th. Joe Rutkowski in 8th, almost the shock winner of the All-Star race, rolling off 8th for Outside Line Sim Racing, in 9th is Ryan Reed for Smart Motorsports. And rounding out your top 10, Joseph Strigley for Cloud Foster Racing Operations. Further behind him, though, you see the Anjado duo, Austin Murray, and your points a championship contender, Anderson Reed, 21 back from those guys ahead of him. He's trying to make it happen. Austin Murray is 6th in points, but 54 points back, 27 behind Alex Benyacko, and another 27 behind the points leader, Colton Layne. And then you got Stephen Wallace Jr. He was one of the contenders all season. He missed Daytona, actually. Or missed Daytona or Las Vegas. I forget which track it was, but he missed at the beginning of the season. He only has 10 races this season out of the 11 made, but he's still only 58 points back. If he did not miss that race, could have been much higher in the championship standings. Getting ready for the commands here at the Kobalt Tools 100 at Gateway. But we thank you guys for tuning in all season long. We have just 3 races to go in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, 5 races to go in the Crown Royal Truck Series. And this weekend for the Crown Royal Truck Series should be good at Michigan. We're going to go head down trackside for the commands to fire the engines and let you guys hear the command to start this race, the Kobalt Tools 100.
Drivers, start your engines.
With that, the engines are fired. 35 drivers roar their engines here at Gateway for 21 laps around this track. We returned to Gateway for the first time since Season 2. Last season, it was off the schedule. This season, they have reconfigured the track. There is a bit newer pavement on there and a traction compound that is sure to make some different racing happen. We'll see what'll go on here for 21 laps, 35 cars. JJ Roberts on the pole, looking to go 2 in a row in his final season in the NSDCA. He has fallen out of the championship hunt. The 3 weeks before Jukasa were horrible. 2 DNFs and another crash. The 39 right now, he's 8th in points. He fell all the way back to 11th before his win at Jukasa and is just looking to finish out this season strong. JJ Roberts will be missed by the fans, but sure to put on a show these final 3 races. But you got Austin Johnson, Jake Galloway, Colton Layne, Alex Benyacko. This will be the big battle to watch. You'll have to see. These guys are just trying to finish ahead of Colton Layne. I don't think they care so much finishing ahead of each other. They want to get around Colton Layne and maybe as well Austin Johnson. Alex Benyacko really has to put the pedal to the metal now and try to get these guys out of here. But Austin Johnson, Colton Layne sitting strong for JRI in 2nd and 4th. You got Jake Galloway and Alex Benyacko for Texas Star Racing and Zachary Racing, respectively. And the Anjado entry of the number 44 back there in 12th is also one of the drivers in the battle. The top 5 in points that we just mentioned are the only ones really that will have a shot at a championship, but that could change today depending on where Alex Benyacko finishes. Coming down to take the green flag, JJ Roberts, Austin Johnson. Green flag is in the air, and we're racing at the Gateway Motorsports Park. Down into turn 1 they rush. You'll see him 2 and 3 wide. There's a traction compound on the inside, but the outside line pretty slick as well. Now Cody Goforth gets shoved out 3 wide. Jake Galloway's going to bring up into 2nd, and Alex Benyacko trying to take 3rd. The field rushes 2, 3, maybe even 4 wide down the back straightaway. As now Alex Benyacko making moves. Colton Layne's going to be able to jump down to the inside. You got Casey Mears in the 66. He's up to 6th. Austin Johnson's now going to run it wide as they come through the corner. And coming off a turn number 4, JJ Roberts, your race leader at Gateway. Galloway clearing to 2nd, Benyacko clearing to 3rd, Layne for 4th, and now Casey Mears looking for the 5th position. You got Ryan Reed, Austin Murray right there as well, but further back, Anderson Anderson Reed in the 44 has really been swallowed up by the pack. They're all moving around on the inside of him. One thing to point out, Mathis Wells making his first start in the Mountain Dew Custom Series since race number 2 this season. This is such a great deal for Mathis Wells. He qualified his way in barely, but he was still in through the Go or Go Homer qualifying, and now he is in here fighting for a top 10 already, making a move around Stephen Wallace Jr. The pack back there, 2 and 3 wide as the front starts to kind of spread out. But now Jake Galloway is right there with J.J. Roberts. Galloway has 2 wins. No one has ever won 3 races in the Mountain Dew Custom Series in one season. The only driver with more than 2 wins to their career is that number 77 driver, Diego Yepes. He has 4 wins in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. J.J. Roberts now trying to hang on over Jake Galloway. You also got Alex Benyacko right there as well in that 53. I believe Ryan Butcher also has 3 wins, but we'll fact check that later. No need to fact check now when it's the championship, which is what our major point this race is. And you got Galloway and Benyacko both ahead of Layne. That's picking him up some spots. Austin Johnson dropping back is now giving Layne a bit less pressure on him in that championship battle, as Johnson is the only one within real striking distance today. Stephen Wallace Jr. is just trying to hang on, just trying to pick up some spots. A top 5 in points would still be amazing for this team, because you do get a pretty hefty amount of money and upgrade points for that. But as they run, Jake Galloway makes the move for the race lead, and give him the spot in the Kobalt Tools 100. The Kobalt Dodge of Jake Galloway to the race lead here today. 5 laps through. Alex Benyacko now is going to have Colton Layne to the inside of him. That's not what Galloway wants to see. But if Galloway wins, remember the difference in points between first to fourth is first to third is actually 4 points, as the leader gets 40. Second gets 37, and third gets 35. So 4 to 5 point gain right there. Now Galloway's going to have to fight J.J. Roberts. That's an Alliance teammate on the inside. Texas Star Racing versus Evernham. Lap 6 to 21 is going to start right now as J.J. Roberts looks back for the race lead. Galloway walking it up the track, trying to use that outside line if he can, and he can pull away from J.J. Roberts and Colton Layne. No, he won't. Roberts is going to take the lead back. So J.J., as you see, not trying to give any favors to his alliance partner and a championship contender. JJ wants to go out and get another win. Now Galloway up the track. That's going to allow Colton Layne to slide down to the inside and could give Layne another hefty points margin over everyone. He slowed it down a bit. Now Austin Johnson back up in this battle. That is 4 of your 5 championship contenders right here in the midst in this top 5, as right now the other championship contender, Anderson Reed, sits 13th. Side by side for 4th, that's Austin Johnson and Alex Benyacko. Benyacko bounces off the wall. Hard hit for Alex Benyacko, and that's going to lose him some time. Now Galloway looking back to the inside, looking for another move on J.J. Roberts down into 3 and 4. But Colton Layne, Austin Johnson, the JRI duo right behind him. That team, that JRI team, most likely could win the championship. They have 2 of their drivers, the top 2 in points. A lot of people wrote off JRI. They just never had the success in the NSDCA that other teams like even Texas Star Racing, Anjado have had. But JRI, with Chevy leaving at the end of the season, is really pushing it further back. Austin Murray moves Mears and Reed. That is for the 6th position there. And look at Mathis Wells inside the top 10. What a feel-good story today for the Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, number 78. Now, side by side for the 2nd spot. That is 3 championship contenders. That is your top 3. They rack out right here. What a points day that would be for Reed and Benyacko. So these 3, they have had respect for each other. Each of them have won, not by moving someone, but by being fast, moving on up there, and making sure to hold the lead. Austin Johnson at Kentucky had a great run. Got all the way up to the front after fighting in the about mid-pack all day. Went up there, won the race. Colton Layne was at Sonoma, and again, everyone has said that Layne didn't have to work for that win. He started on the pole, no one passed him, and he won the race at Sonoma just due to the passing issues at that track. And Jake Galloway, you remember New Hampshire, one of the greatest drives this season, from 12th to 1st in 30 laps at New Hampshire, went on to win that race over Stephen Wallace Jr. And then Galloway, a 2-time winner. Johnson and Layne, 2 wins between the 2 of them. Alex Benyacko, 2-time winner. You are seeing 8 of the 11 races this season, or 6 of the 11 races this season, have been won by 2nd through 5th right there. The other race winners are Anderson Reed. He has 1. Stephen Wallace Jr., J.J. Roberts, Luke Rainey, and Jesse Turner. But looking at that, the top 5 drivers in this race right now. Oh, Colton Layne spun! Championship implications as Layne goes around, back up into traffic. Mathis Wells almost hits him. I think the caution is out, but Layne taken out by his teammate and championship rival Austin Johnson. Spinning further back, that's Logan Bradley, Jesse Turner, Alex Peters, the 32 and 0 with damage. Heavy impact, the 91 of Joe Rutkowski, Nicky Morris, and this changes everything. That will most likely put Austin Johnson in the points lead, but now that move's going to be investigated as he just dumped Colton Layne coming off of the corner. Teammates get together. Layne is the big loser. And that shakes up everything. Anderson Reed's going to gain some spots. Colton Layne now, it looks like he'll be outside, almost outside of the top 20. And with damage, that could cost him even more. So this race could be pivotal in the championship hunt for Colton Layne. Damage to the front and the rear of the 14. The Vornado Chevrolet spun out coming off of turn number 4. And if you're AJ Jones, don't know what you got to think about that. Austin Johnson could still go on win this championship, but Johnson has really not been as consistent as Colton Layne was. Layne was always up there battling Jake Galloway, squaring up with him. Austin Johnson's just kind of sat quietly, taking a win at Kentucky, and just kind of sat up there, moved his way through the field. But Jake Galloway, I feel like that has to be a big weight off his shoulders, especially with how many laps we got left. We have less than 8 to go when we'll go back racing, and I don't think Layne, with that damage, can pass that many cars, especially with drivers like Stephen Wallace Jr., Luke Rainey, Cody Goforth, DJ Curtis, Anderson Reed all in front of him on the way back up to that top 5. So JJ Roberts has been putting on a clinic today. He's led a good amount of this race, which could go to his second victory. But Jake Galloway in this 48 team, he goes from 11 points back on Colton Layne. He is now ahead of Layne and would only be 3 points behind, or 2 points behind Austin Johnson, as Galloway got a lap led. So Galloway back in the points battle. Alex Benyacko, that picks it up. Again, Austin Johnson, he was only 5 points behind Colton Layne, but if Layne finishes that far back, that is an extra 5 points that Benyacko and Reed and Galloway all gain on the points leader. And if Galloway can hang on over Austin Johnson, then he will pick up even more, and it could be a good points battle coming in. As Colton Layne sits in the 15th position, he would be behind Jake Galloway by about 4 points, and Anderson Reed would only be 8 points behind him. So this is going to be a good race when we come back to this. But Colton Layne gets spun out by Austin Johnson coming off of turn 4, and a big crash happens behind them here at Gateway. And the championship implications on this wreck could be major, especially if that 14 cannot recover from this small bit of damage that he has. Austin Johnson just drove right into the back quarter panel of the 14 and turned him off the corner. That's all you can say about it. Further back, though, drivers complaining about oil and possible problems with the traction compound. Joe Rutkowski, the first one around there. You see Casey Mears get a hard hit from Nicky Morris. Mears is still running, but a good amount of drivers. Mears bounces off the wall. He was yelling on the radio about the NSDCA's problems on this track, and a heavy hit for a lot of drivers. Nicky Morris comes in, just shoots into the back of the 66, into Irving Allison, and you'll also see Jacob Rose and Camden Luca run right into the back of him. So it's Colton Layne and Austin Johnson starting this caution. A lot of carnage behind, but with teammate Austin Johnson spinning out the points leader Colton Layne, that should have shake up the championship. Jake Galloway in that 48 just ahead, now looking to capitalize on Layne's misfortune. Back live here at Gateway, and we will go back racing with just about 6 laps to go. JJ Roberts is your race leader in the Evernham 39, and Jake Galloway sits second in the number 48. Galloway, your big points contender, was dominant at the beginning of the season, lost a bit. Right now, just hoping Colton Layne falls back even more. Austin Johnson could be, or would be, your points leader as they run right now, but only by 2 points over Jake Galloway. Then you got Alex Benyacko in 4th. Austin Murray is 5th, 54 points back. It would have to be a miracle. I believe that the 48-3, at least both of those guys and the 14 would all have to spin outside of the top top 20 for Murray to even get back up in there. But Mathis Wells in 6th. What a shock it would be if he was to win this race. Butcher Gatorade Motorsports has not been good in any series. It has been a very horrible year for BGM, and Mathis Wells has missed 9 races this season. He was supposed to run full time. He only has 2 races that he's scored points in. He is up here in the 6th spot. What a race it would be if Mathis could even get a top 5. A top 10 is great. A top 5 is magical. Somehow winning this race would be outstanding. Luke Rainey is 7th. Ryan Reed 8th. Stephen Wallace Jr. 9th. Cody Goforth 10th. You see Anderson Reed in 11th. Colton Layne in 15th. Layne has some rear end damage, slight front end damage, not too harsh. We'll see if that will affect him. Coming on down, the top 4 all have wins this season. Austin Murray has not won in the Mountain Dew Custom Series this year. Coming down to take the green flag once again. Most likely, we'll see a green flag to the end. Let's hope. Jake Galloway, a great restart on Roberts. Green flag is back in the air. Galloway got a nice jump, dives to the inside. You see Anderson Reed further back in the 44 making a move as well. Austin Johnson up the track. That's what everyone wants to see, even including Colton Layne wants to see him drop back because Layne wants to be in the battle. He passed Eric Monaco already. Layne is making moves. Look at Austin Murray to the inside on that 53. That is for the 4th spot. Now Luke Rainey in the 67 looking for his win once again. JJ Roberts out in front. Galloway right behind him as they come through the corner. Look at that, the 78 of Mathis Wells to the top 5 as he clears Austin Murray. Look at Stephen Wallace Jr. and Anderson Reed. They want to push their way to the front. Colton Layne now sits in the 13th position. He's gained on the 0-2 and the 2. Now you got Mark Silas up the track. Colton Layne still moving up. He is not going to be denied. Austin Johnson now on the back of Jake Galloway. The best thing that Johnson could probably do now is also spin that 48 out, because then he would really have no competitors right around him. Alex Benyacko in that 53. He's fast, but still 27 back. Now Johnson down to the inside of Galloway looking for some momentum. Off the corner they go. Nothing there. I think, yes, Galloway will clear Johnson down the front straightaway. Benyacko looking to the outside. Mathis Wells has Austin Murray all over the back of him. Stephen Wallace Jr. to 7th, blows up. The 98's blowing up, and that'll definitely put a damper on his championship hopes. Now the 14's going to pick up even more spots now as he's on the inside, looking for some moves. Stephen Wallace Jr. slows up the 00. Now Colton Layne, he might be going 3 wide into the corner with Eric Monaco trying to shoot up the middle, and Layne is looking for a top 10 run still even after that spin. JJ Roberts is back. We missed a whole battle up front, and Austin Johnson's your new race leader with Jake Galloway in second coming around. 4 laps to go. Now Austin Murray is in this battle. Mathis Wells is up here. What a move. We're seeing a battle for this race win, and Jake Galloway might just let this points gap that he was about to accrue slip away. Alex Benyacko back into the wall. There's Anderson Reed. Colton Layne still fighting drivers back there. These guys just do not want him back inside the top 5 at all. Austin Johnson going to use that outside line, try to make some momentum come off the corner there. There's Galloway. Mathis Wells side by side with Austin Murray. That is for the 4th position. What a run we're seeing by this 78. Further back, there's Colton Layne. He is inside the top 10 and gaining in this 14 Vornado Chevrolet. But Austin Johnson in the 3 looking for his 2nd win. Jake Galloway looking for his 3rd win. JJ Roberts had this race in the bag. We'll show a replay of what happened to get that battle for the win after this. But JJ Roberts right there. Austin Johnson now has Galloway. He's catching him once again. Coming on down, we're going to have 2 to go this time by. Galloway loses a lot through 3 and 4. Very, very slow. Austin Murray up to 4th. You got Alex Benyacko there. These guys are trying to defend over Colton Layne, but Layne now has to drive against drivers who have won races. Luke Rainey, Anderson Reed, Alex Benyacko, DJ Curtis all have wins in the NSDCA this year. Colton Layne now. Luke Rainey almost right up into the 14. Look at him roughing him up. Rainey's trying to give these guys a battle for the points now. Austin Johnson, he's going to have 1 lap to do it. Up the track he goes. Galloway trying to drive it in. He has a run. Here comes that 48 coming to the white flag. He has some momentum. He now has the draft. White flag. Here, JJ Roberts into the wall. Austin Murray's up there. Mathis Wells looking for the 4th position. But the battle's for the race lead. Austin Johnson, Jake Galloway. This is the battle for a points for the points right here, basically. If Galloway can beat Johnson, that's an extra 3 points. That could put him just 1 point behind Johnson. He's going to have 1 last corner to do it. Will Jake be able to get to the inside? He's not there. Not going to lunge it in there. Gonna use the outside line. Does he have enough? Austin Johnson up the track. Galloway slowing it down. It's not gonna be enough coming off of the corner. Austin Johnson, he spins out Colton Layne, changes this race, changes the championship, and wins at Gateway. Colton Layne comes home 10th, so he will... Colton Layne right there in that 14. What a run, even with a damaged car and spun out tires. He will still do it. Austin Johnson will gain, I believe, 13 points on Layne, putting Layne 7 points back. But Jake Galloway now, he is only about 9 points. I believe he'll be 9 points behind Austin Johnson. Colton Layne will be behind Jake Galloway in the point standings. And now Anderson Reed will have gained a bit on Colton Layne. The championship has changed up right now. Stephen Wallace Jr. has now been eliminated from the championship hunt. But Austin Johnson in this 3-team, what a race right there for him and the AC Delco Chevrolet. Taking a quick look at this battle between the top 3, and Austin Johnson had a huge run off of the corner. Galloway goes down to the bottom, and they're going to be 3 wide heading into turn number 3. A heroic move by Austin Johnson. Pushes JJ Roberts into the outside wall. Galloway up the track, and that's what gave Austin Johnson the victory here at Gateway. What a race for this 3-team. We thank you for tuning in to the Kobalt Tools 100 here at Gateway. And an exciting finish. Austin Johnson getting into Colton Layne, spinning him out, and changing the championship battle heading in to Talladega next week. It'll be interesting to see with only 2 races to go. Talladega and Kansas. Talladega, a wild card race. You just got to hope you get to the front and stay there without while dodging the crashes. Kansas, an exciting race, will be run at the daytime. Both races run at the daytime due to the track saying that the nighttime racing is not up to par. So we will be at daytime for Kansas. And you saw in the All-Star race and All-Star Open how chaotic that can be. Austin Johnson will take the points lead with that move on Colton Layne and passing Jake Galloway and JJ Roberts with just 4 laps to go. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA as Talladega week is next week, but we'll have the Crown World Truck Series in Michigan soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.